If you've been curious about this buzzword abundance that we all speak about, and you want to learn more about abundance, this is the episode for you. I have a really cool special guest for you guys today. Her name is Sarah Walton, and Sarah was introduced to me by another mutual friend who will also be on the podcast in a few weeks. And I can't tell you guys how much this networking has really been my jam over the past month or two. I've had so many incredible introductions and met so many amazing people, and it's not through social media, it's just through introductions. So don't forget about the power of actually meeting with people one on one, because I really feel like I've made some true friends and lifelong relationships recently, Sarah being one of those. And I just left this conversation like wanting more, wanting a part two, wanting to learn more from Sarah. She's incredibly smart. So Sarah is a business coach and sales expert who's been featured on the Today Show. She speaks at women's conferences all over the world and has helped hundreds of women start and grow businesses they love. She works with a handful of one-to-one clients and runs the Sales Mastermind and her exclusive Abundance Academy for women in business. You guys are going to hear a little bit more about her programs. She's the voice behind the Game On Girlfriend podcast, which I will actually be on very soon as well, and the face of Sarah Uncut on YouTube, making her the go-to source for no-nonsense business coaching and her real-life, mind-blowing abundance. And Sarah's really funny, you guys. She's so fun and entertaining to talk to. She grew up in a low-income household with a single mom, and to help moms turn their passion into a business they love that can support their families is truly her passion. Sarah's lived experience shows how women can powerfully change the lives and the lives of their families and communities. She is so passionate about putting more money in the hands of women. And she's transitioned from being just another coach to truly being a change maker. So it is time for us to jump on this mission of putting more money in the hands of women. And I know Sarah's all in. So are you guys all in too? You're going to love this conversation. I cannot wait to get started. So let's do it. Welcome back to the Messy Success Podcast. I'm your host, Elizabeth Henson, and I help high-performing artists and creative leaders grow and scale communities so that marketing is easy. This podcast combines business tips and real-life experiences in being the creative entrepreneur that we all are. So you're in the right place if you want to leave feeling a little bit more confident and normalize these day-to-day struggles that we all experience as business owners. And you can do this while mastering your marketing so that business is light and easy. I'm so glad you're joining me here where we can get a little bit messy, a little bit creative, and it's okay to be super ambitious. Let's get started. All right. Hello, Sarah. I am so freaking excited about this conversation. And I just told everyone a little bit about you, but I want you to go ahead and introduce yourself before we dive into all the things.
All the things. Oh my gosh, Elizabeth, like this is going to be so much fun. I hope we don't talk everybody's ear off. They're going to be like, wow, this conversation. So my name is Sarah Walton and I'm an intuitive business coach, which means I do you so you can do your business. I don't follow a set program when I work with someone one-on-one. I think it's really important that we deal with the person in front of us as coaches. The nightmare stories I hear, I'm so sorry on behalf of all business coaches to everyone. There are some of us who are really good, I swear. And then I think, the other thing I just love to talk about is I have a year-long program called the Abundance Academy. And that program is very special to me because I think right now, especially at least at the time that we're talking, right, there's a lot going on in the world and it's scary and it's terrifying. And I really consider it to be my life's work to get more money in the hands of more women, because I think if women were making more decisions on a larger scale, and that's going to take money, I don't think we'd be seeing what we're seeing, because I don't think we hurt each other's children. I think we would make sure our children have medicine and water and education. And that really is what drives my work as a business coach, is to make sure women are making a very good living. And it's not always about shoes and bags, right? It's making a very good living so we can make a difference, and start to turn this thing around, because it's nuts.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Amen to that. And I
Yeah.
just saw something yesterday on a similar vein that was like, why are women expected to pause their social media when something big and crazy is going on in the world, right? Like, and I know sometimes I feel a little bit of pressure, like, am I being insensitive? But in fact, it's like, no, this is the more important time than ever to elevate each other,
Yeah.
Is that how you feel too?
Oh my gosh, 100%. And we happen to be in the middle of a really big launch right now. And I pulled everything. I was like, we're not launching that way because the world has changed.
Yeah.
That's not appropriate. The message is identical. The message is still the same, which is we need more money in your hands because of this, not in spite of it. And I really believe that's not a marketing ploy. That's not like something we made up. I really believe it. But I think when we are tone deaf to what's actually happening, people can't hear the truth of the message, right? Because it gets lost. And it's really important that we all check in with ourselves. Like, I can't tell anyone else what they have to do. You have to check in with yourself and check what you have to do. And I think it's a little bit, I'm going to call BS a little bit on this idea that it's only women who get called out on this. And it really is. Like, men do not get called out like that. And it is this, I call it high functioning codependence. I wish I had termed that phrase. I did not. It comes from Terry Cole, who wrote the book Boundary Boss. But it's such a great, important psychological phrase where we as women, because we can multitask so well, because we can nurture and expand and grow and be great with money all at the same time, the demand on us is higher. And it's an untenable demand, right? Like, it's not sustainable. And that's where the codependence piece of high functioning codependence comes in, because we get rewarded for running ourselves into the ground, right? Like, oh my God, she's killing it. Have you seen her? She looks great and she makes $1 million. Like, knock it off. Right. And so, and I think on social media, that's happening too. We're the ones who get called out because we're supposed to nurture. We're supposed to grow. We're supposed to know everything that's happening in the news. We're supposed to be financially independent. We're supposed to be taking great care of our kids and bake them cookies. Oh, and by the way, did you look like crap on your last social media post? Like, it's like, oh my God, stop with the madness. Like, come on, guys, we can be there to support each other and make more money so we can affect what's happening, not be at the effect of what's happening. And I think it's really important we start to take that stand for each other.
Yeah. And that's such a good point too, of like, it's not about like silencing when something big is going on, but like pivoting your messaging and being aware and being conscious and, including that in the why. I think that's so good and so important. And I also feel like you were a little bit in my head, like, as how my morning went, because I consider myself to be very like, mentally, I have my shit together, right? Like, I'm very good with my mindset and choosing thoughts that serve the future that I want to create. But this morning, it was like, I couldn't find what I needed for the kids. I'm like, I'm not organized enough. The house is not clean enough. Like, and I'm like, this is so unlike me, but like, we're all human beings. And I just kept thinking, like, as a woman, as a mother, the pressure that I felt to have my kids have everything they need and be happy. And I needed to find the stupid labels for Anthony's jacket and I couldn't find, and like, it set me off. Right. And it's like,
and it's unreal. Like, it's like ridiculous, but it's like, but I don't mean ridiculous that you felt that way. It's ridiculous that we feel that way because we're expected to feel that way and have it all handled. And it's just bananas. It's not, I don't even know how this caught on. Like, how did this catch on that we're supposed to run around like idiots all day, every day to make sure everyone else is okay while we don't know if we've peed? Like, why is that okay? Right. And we all bought into it. Like every single one of us. I've done it too, where I'm like, you idiot, you should. I'm like, oh my dear God, woman, you teach this stuff. Like, none of us are beyond it. And I think it's because it really is, it's almost like the air we breathe from the second we're born. And I think it's so critical we have these conversations because we're going to have to be there for each other. Because exactly what you said is going to happen. We're going to be by ourselves, left to our own devices, and it kicks in. We need to be able to reach out to someone else who goes, no, that's actually insane. And you don't have to have all that handled. Do you want a drink or do you want to go get some coffee? Like, we need to calm each other down while still staying focused. And it's going to take us with each other, I think, to undo this. And it really is women supporting other women more than anything else. That's what's going to help us get out of this madness, this high functioning codependence.
Yes, I agree. Okay. And I love how you said you don't follow like a program for your coaching. And again, I'm like, Sarah's just giving me all the validation this morning, because my newest program, I was sitting there thinking like, oh gosh, like I don't have it's not organized enough, right? Like it's not organized enough. But I think there's so much power in what you stand for and what you're saying, that a great coach isn't perfectly scripted and isn't perfectly systematized, because you need to be able to read the room.
Oh, please read the room. Yeah.
So tell us more about like your decision to make that kind of like program free, or what does that look like?
Yeah, it was hard. I'm not even going to lie. Like, I'm not going to pretend like I have it all handled and here's what I knew. No, I like stumbled around in the dark, banging my head against the wall going, I am supposed to have a program. I shove people through. Oh, how did that happen? I think it really started when I was watching my kids in school, funny enough. And it occurred to me, this is not a novel idea. This is not like Sarah Walton said. No, but it occurred to me that like the education system's totally broken. And it's great. God bless, we have education. That's wonderful. I don't mean that, but the way these children learn doesn't work anymore inside those old paradigms of 2 + 2 = 4. Like they don't, their brains don't work that way. And the education system hadn't caught up. And I was watching my kids who are really smart, like they had 4.0s, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't care about that. They were still struggling with, I'm bored. They were struggling with, why are they still doing this? And they were struggling with, my teacher doesn't even know when I use AI. I'm like, well, that's not okay. Like things like that were coming up. And I was like, oh my God, I can't be that teacher. That's sort of what happened, was watching. I guess it's kind of like being tone deaf in marketing. I'm just sort of watched what happened. And I was like, oh no, this is not a one size fits all. It never has been. There are some fundamental truths of our shared humanity, like high functioning codependence. That's a shared truth we all have. And there's 89,000 tools that, I can pull out of a backpack to help somebody get through that. But my job as a coach is to make sure I know what those tools are and to put them in front of that person and help them choose which one works for them. Not for me to go, my proven 3-step program is going to get you through. It's like, I can't say that to you. I don't know that my 3 steps are going to work for you. They work really well for me, but there's also 49,000 other ones we can try to make sure you feel good, to make sure your message is coming through, to make sure you're making the money you want to make, not the money I want to make. Or like saying, well, I made 7 figures this year. Don't you want me to be your coach? It's like, well, maybe, I don't know. Like, what if my goal is to have such great wealth that the next 7 generations of my family don't work? I think that would be amazing, but let's like get them in public service and make sure they're doing amazing things and not just sitting on beaches in Tahiti. But anyway, like if that's your goal, who cares what I made? Because that's not my goal. My goal would be different from yours. And so it took me a while, Elizabeth. Like I wish I could just be like, here's what happened. Oh my God. It's not like that. It was an evolution over time. And I think, when I work with people, I always say we take your experience, your expertise, and your talents and package them. And one of my, I don't know where I got it. I wish I could likely claim somewhere, but one of my gifts is I can read people really well. And so when I'm working with somebody, and it doesn't matter if it's in a group program or one-on-one, and they start talking, somehow I go, oh, you think you can't make money because you'll show up your dad. And they're like, how in the actual hell did you figure that out? I'm like, I don't know. Right. And that's the part I wish I could be like, you guys, I just break it down like this. I don't. And that's the intuitive business coach piece, is I can work with someone and they're like, how did you know that? I'm like, I just listened to you and I heard language that let me know this is a situation. This was what I call an unspoken family rule. You don't make more than dad. And they're like, oh my God. And I'm like, nobody said that to you, right? They're like, no, but I knew I shouldn't make more than my dad. And until we pull that out of the way of someone, they're going to bump into it over and over and not understand what's happening.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's so true.
Yeah.
And this is like off the wall, but have you looked into your intuitive gifts, like studied clairvoyancy or any of that stuff?
No. And I know everybody's like Sarah Walton. Like I've had people who are like spiritual guides, or I have a lot of astrologers. I have a lot of human design experts that I work with. They're like, I need to work with you. I'm like, lay it on me, sister. Like I do that, but I've never sought it out. I probably could, and I'd probably love it like crazy. But at the moment, I've just been, honestly, to be totally straightforward, we have just exploded in our business, and I have been so knee deep in that. And I feel like that's my calling. If I can explore it and figure out later, I will. But right now, I'm actually just using it like crazy. And that's not an excuse. I do want to learn about it. But right now, there are people who need it. So I'd rather provide it than know more about it myself, if that makes sense.
No, that's so good. I mean, because I think I have a lot of like intuitive, gifts too. I'm like, took a quiz one time. It's like, you're most likely to be a psychic or whatever.
Yeah.
And, but again, I haven't like picked up any of the books or really like done any of the studying. So I love that you're like, oh, I just focus on like delivering whatever gifts I do have instead of, trying to learn or pass it on. But always like, ooh, what would it be like to have an astrologer just like on my team, like a team astrologer, right? Like
let's so get that. Oh, I so want that to happen. Let's totally.
I don't want to be the expert on it. I really don't even want to read the books, but I want someone to show up every morning and be like, Liz, this is how you need to show up today to get the best out, the most out of your day.
This is the best thing ever. Can we do that? Let's work on that. I like Sarah and Liz have a project. Like, let's totally do that. I want to make that happen.
Like, I wonder if there's someone out there that specializes in that, and then that's what they do, right? Like, they just show up for CEOs and help them. Because I'm like, I don't really want to learn it. I just want someone to tell me what to do.
Just do me. Yeah. So, anyone listening, call us. Okay. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, so funny. I love it. Okay, so tell me, what does it look like if your students join your program and there's not really like a set program, like a set like step by step, right? Like do this and get this. Is it mostly just like calls with them live? Or do you give homework? Like I feel like we're very similar, and this is kind of like validating, like, oh, I have permission to just show up on Zoom and that's enough.
Yes, you do. So inside the Abundance Academy, because that's a year-long program, there is a goal setting workshop that is available to people. And I say, as soon as they sign up, I'm like, go take the workshop and get your goals clear for the next year. Like that part's it. There's structure. I don't want it to sound like, and then I throw spaghetti on the wall. Like there's structure. They know what they need to do. And we start working on, the 6 human needs. So they know what they are. And then they'll come to class with questions about those. And it's so great when someone's 10 months in and someone's 1 month in and they're talking to each other. I'm like, this is the coolest thing ever. But person in month 1 is like, oh my gosh, I just figured out that my biggest human need is to feel significant.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, this is not going well in my marriage or whatever, right? It's like so cool. And then that opens up this whole thing for an abundance of love. And then that ends up serving the rest of the class. There are also times I will come with a specific plan. So again, the world just like lost its mind, right? And we have children being slaughtered all over the world, which is just absolutely unacceptable. So here I am leading a class on abundance. How in the hell are you supposed to teach a class on abundance or show up on Zoom when this is happening, right? Not to mention we have people on both sides inside the group, right? Like it's like, oh dear heavens, what are we doing? How do we do this? And I will research and review and look up how we talk about these things in a way that causes an abundance of acceptance, an abundance of opportunity, an abundance of hope. And not hope like pie in the sky. Sorry. I tear up and choke up sometimes. I'm sorry, you guys. I cry a lot. Anyway, but in working on this, I will come with a plan where it's like, what do I not know about this situation? What do I wish other people knew about this situation? If it's 6 months from now, what would make me proud about showing up in a certain way in the situation? So it's a real life program. Right. Like we're dealing with life as it's happening, and you have a coach by your side who happens to believe we live in an incredibly abundant world, and we have people with massive health issues that have spurred 6 months into the program. Other people have like spouses have been diagnosed with like terminal illness, like stuff's going down. This is real life. And they're like, but I want to work on abundance, right? Because that's how we get through these things. Life is never going to stop happening. And so I think being a really great coach inside of a group program means we're doing our research, we're showing up, we are delivering. And sometimes that delivery is listening because people don't feel listened to anymore, right? They don't feel like anybody hears them. And sometimes that is actual instruction of, listen, this is going to make you feel a certain way. What do you want to do about it? Here are the 5 or 6 tools we have available. Which one's going to work for you? What feels best to you? How do you want to try it? And then the homework is to practice that.
Yeah.
In the Sales Mastermind, which is a 6-month program, that is more of a program. So that I have to teach people to scale sales, right? So there's stuff I got to get done. Like there are classes where we show up, we're like, we're talking about breaking down your sales page. We're talking about your unique selling proposition. We're talking about what you do when someone says no. Like that stuff has to get actually taught. but every third class is a coaching call.
Yeah.
They practice stuff, they go out, they try it, they come back in. And I think the other thing that makes that program really unique is every week they don't have to, but every week they can submit something to me for review. So if they've had a nasty exchange on customer service and they're like, where did we go wrong? Like, what happened? I can break that down with them and I can send them a Loom or a video or have a conversation with them about that. They send me their sales pages or a nurture sequence or a launch campaign sequence, right? And I can break it down with them and go, do you see where you got into you here and you forgot about what matters to your customer? And they're like, oh my gosh, I did it again. I'm like, yeah, you're human. That's what we do. Go back, try it again, or test both and see what works with your audience. They're like, I can do that. I'm like, yeah, we can learn stuff. Like, it's like this permission to be imperfect and figure it out. And I wish I could just shake up all the coaching programs. Honestly, Liz, if I could just run around the planet, like it's like this secret goal I have of like breaking down BS business coaches, right? Because there's so much in there about this perfectionism, and it is so the death of business. It is the death of businesses, is this lack of explaining and compassion and excitement around the idea that there's always a next. At launch bombed. Oh my God. Awesome. Let's figure out why.
Yeah. There's learning lessons in it.
Yeah. But, and I get like, the leaning into, I want to run away and hide. I'm totally embarrassed. I totally flopped. And like my ex-colleague saw that. But the truth is no one's following us as closely as we are. And nobody knows that you failed, but you is failed in your own terms. I don't think we ever fail, right? So if you feel that way, nobody knows you feel that way, but you. And then working through where that was actually established in you. Who told you that was a failure? Where did you learn that? Where did you learn that this is the end? I've screwed it up. It's over. I'm going to go get a job at Starbucks. Like, where did you learn that? As opposed to, what did you learn from this? Like, where can we put in more love? Where can we put in more excitement for people? Where can we put in less of this pain point, scare the crap out of people stuff that I hate? Like, where can we pull at people's ambition and excitement and hope instead of grounding them into this idea that they're idiots and unless they hire you, they're going to die? Like, where is this coming from, right? And how do we correct that? So that course is a little bit more instructive and there's a little bit more structure, as I think there has to be around that, because they're learning a skill. But there's lots of room for mistakes. There's lots of room for planning, and there's lots of room for, coming back to me as the coach and being like, Sarah, this didn't work. What happened? That's my favorite, is because then we can get into it and try again. And then it's like, oh my God, it worked. Awesome. What was the difference? What really made that difference? And knowing that as a business owner, I think that's actually our job.
Yeah. Something really, this reminded me of something so cool that I learned recently, that like, it's okay to be like the protagonist, right? Like, it's okay. Like, a lot of this like masculine sales energy is like, they're the antagonist, right? Like, they're stirring the pot. They're like, they're making you feel bad. They're like the villain, right? Am I getting that right? Antagonist, protagonist. The protagonist is like the positive one that's like shows you what's possible. And like, I was kind of searching for like, what's my story? Like, what's my rags to riches story? Like, I don't have one. And somebody helped me really see that, like, no, you can be the protagonist that shows people what's possible. You don't always have to like be the one that like makes them feel bad about themselves, that they want to be rescued. But there are people out there that already want more, like Ariel in The Little Mermaid, right? Like, he wants to be part of that world. And then you're going to attract people that just want to be part of your world. So it's like, we can attract people with abundance, with positivity. It doesn't have to be like, well, I was poor and now I'm rich, so I can teach you to do the same, right? Like, it's such a beautiful thing to be like, oh, like, that's okay. That's okay that like, this is who I am and those are my strengths.
Yeah. You know what? It's interesting, because I've studied this, right? I do, because I'm crazy and I love this stuff so much. But that rags to riches thing came into the world, into the zeitgeist of coaching because of Tony Robbins. And he didn't do that on purpose, right? That wasn't like, I'm going to make the industry be like that. He just invented an industry. And it's like, oh my God, it's now a $3 billion a year industry. Good job, dude. But, the whole thing is that he came from nothing. Right. And so I think everybody felt like they had to come from nothing. And it's like, no, that's just his story. It's okay. I think that's what I really want to shake up, is this idea there's only one way to do any of this.
Yeah.
That's insane. There isn't only one way to do any of this, but you do need to have the knowledge and understanding of the tools people need in order to be successful.
Yeah. Okay. And I know we're going to dive into sales because sales is like one of my favorite things to talk about. So when you have students or you meet people out in the wild that are like, I don't want to feel salesy or I don't want my email subscribers to unsubscribe. Like, what are your favorite things to tell them?
Yeah, good luck. First of all, because people are always going to unsubscribe, and
Almost
it
spit
always
my water
hurts.
out. Sorry.
You spit,
Like,
yeah. Good luck with
good
that.
luck.
Yeah. Sorry, I know if only we all lived in Disneyland. First of all, I would love that. But yeah, no, we can't all just write It's a Small World all day and pretend the world looks like that. That's not real life. And every time somebody unsubscribes, it's going to sting. There's just no, that's like, welcome to being a person.
Right.
Oh, you don't like me. Like, that's a thing. Like, oh my God, we all feel that. That's like, I don't look at my unsubscribes because it makes me sad.
Yeah,
Right.
I
This is all
know.
of us. We all
Yeah.
feel that way. That's normal. Like, I'm so happy you're alive and you're human. This is a good thing you feel that way. It's okay. And the paradigm shift to have around it is it's actually a good thing. And it's a good thing because so many email providers charge us for the amount of people who are on the list, right? Not all of them, but most of them do. And if someone's never going to purchase from you, you actually do want them off your list.
Yes.
And so it's going to sting. But as a business owner, and as you start to separate yourself, this is the biggest key to business success, in my humble opinion, is separating yourself from the business. You are not the business. And I know there's so many coaches, and I've said this in the past too, I'm sorry, but that you are your business. No, you're the face, if you choose to be, of the business. You are not the business. And so the question that we ask to create that separation is, what does the business need? And the business needs those people off the list, because the business shouldn't be paying to have people on the list who aren't ever going to buy from you or share your stuff, even if they don't buy, to share it or to talk about you or to get excited about the content you're sharing in your emails. They should be off the list. That's appropriate. So kind of putting on that CEO hat of, we don't spend money where we don't need to. That's spending money where you don't need to. And so when we can sort of separate a little bit and get clear on what's actually happening, it doesn't sting as much.
Yeah.
So you're still going to be a person. It's going to hurt. And we want to elevate ourselves to the level of CEO and pretend you are running something like, I don't know, let me make up a brand, Zappos, right? Zappos is not sitting around crying when they lose subscribers. They're a business. They want people on that list who are going to purchase. So sort of putting yourself in that vein. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, no, I love that. It's kind of, I was actually thinking right as you began talking about like this whole third person of like, this is what the business needs. Like,
Yeah.
not what I need. Like, even talking to your team or talking to your family, like, this is what the business needs. This isn't what I need. And that's kind of hard to like to separate those two. Yeah. And then
But
with the
once you do,
emails, I'm like, why am I even saying this? Because this has been on the podcast 100 times. But it's like when I get all those emails from Old Navy, right? Like just delete, 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 delete. But I'm not unsubscribing because when I'm ready for a pair of shorts, I am ready to open that email. You know,
Right.
so it's like there is no like, oh, I'm so annoying because I email too much. It's like, no, when they are ready, you want to be in their inbox, right? Like that
Exactly right.
repetition, repetition, repetition.
Yep.
And if it is
100%.
annoying and they unsubscribe, it's exactly what you said of like, they're not going to buy anyways.
Yes. And that's perfect. And the business needs them to unsubscribe so it can make room for
Yeah.
someone who will purchase. Right. So really getting that. Yeah, I love that conversation so much. And then being salesy. Listen, I have a belief, take it or leave it. And my belief is you only occur as salesy if you're being salesy. If you're being honest and you're being direct, it's like, okay, so the sky is blue, the trees are green, and I have a product that you could buy if you'd like it and you think it would help. That's not salesy. People don't feel sold to. And I think the other thing, people who are concerned about feeling salesy, right? They get salesy. They get like, oh my God. And it's like, I'll totally give it to you for a discount. And you like become this crazy person. And you're like, what the hell just happened to me? It's like body snatchers come in and you're like salesy and you take over. But if you're just yourself and you're talking about it, you know, you don't freak out when you recommend a book to somebody. You don't freak out when you're like, oh my God, you have to see this movie. It's so good. You're selling that movie in that moment, but you don't feel salesy. So it doesn't occur as salesy. And I think it's really getting grounded in the facts of, if you have something that can help people, you should tell them about it. And that's okay. Like you would tell somebody who's like, I don't know what to do. Oh my God, this book is amazing. It totally describes it. You should go grab it. That's helpful. That's not being salesy. So I think the more honest we can be and the more straightforward we can be and just not worrying about it, the more naturally it starts to come out. But also that key of separating yourself from the business makes it very easy not to be salesy.
Mhm.
Because if they don't want the Abundance Academy or the Sales Mastermind, that's cool because it's not me they don't want. They don't need that service right now. I'm down with that. Please don't spend your money where you don't need to, right? Like, don't buy the Old Navy shorts till you need them. Like, that's crazy. But
Mhm.
come back and know it's here when you're ready. If you're ready, it'll be here for you. And that'll be so exciting because that'll be the right time. I think
Yeah.
if we can approach it that way, it's so much simpler. Like, we make it all crazy.
We do make it all crazy. You totally made me think of like, when I used to get on webinars for the first time and like, I'd be like in my power, like delivering so much value. And then at the end, I'm like, and then I have this program.
Yes.
It's like, what
Oh
just
my
happened?
gosh.
Like, what just happened? Right. It's like,
Sure.
I had to really, really learn that the sales process is just part of the helping people process. And like, indecision sucks. And if we can just help them get over the fence of like a yes or it's a no, I don't care if it's a no. Right. But like, just help them out of that indecision. Like, that's
Yeah.
our job. And if we don't help them make the decision, we're kind of like stopping short of the helping people process.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I always liken it to a doctor who walks by someone who's bleeding out. And you're like, what is wrong with you? They're like, well, I didn't want to be salesy. It's like, are you out of your freaking mind? Like, go do the thing, right? And it is like that. Like, we put our own ego and our own worry about what other people will think ahead of helping. And
Yes.
that's bananas.
Yeah.
We would never do that about anything else. Like I said, a book, a movie, a conversation, well, a podcast. I mean, how many times have you sent a podcast to your friend like, oh my God, you have to listen to this? We're doing that because we know it will help them,
Yeah.
and it's like, and then we get in the way of that process because somehow we make it about us. And it's heartbreaking really, because if, if we actually explain that to each other or sit about it, none of us would ever put ourselves in front of someone else getting help, like ever. There's no way. You wouldn't be like, I'm not driving you to the hospital. I haven't done my hair. Like, none of us would be like that, right? But when it
So
comes to
true.
sales, we start being like that. It's so sad. So I think just the truth of that, like breaking that down to have that be, oh, I see what I'm doing there. Oh, no, that's silly. I don't need to do that. I think getting to that place is really important.
Yeah. And it's exactly what you said about when we get in our head, we're actually making it about us. Right. And
Right.
as long as we're present and in tune to them, it's like, then it doesn't even feel like selling, but it's like that self-awareness piece is like, how do you turn that on? Like, how do you really show your students, like, this is the moment that you got in your own head and you actually made it about you. You feel like you're making it about them, but you actually made it about you and what they think of you. Right. But there
Yeah.
really is something magical that's unlocked when they
Mm.
realize, like, oh shit, I am thinking about myself and not thinking about them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's all so powerful. And again, like really the crux of all my teaching will come down to separating self from business.
Yeah.
That really is the key to all of that business success, is understanding you're a business owner. You're not the business. Yeah.
Yeah. I know. And that's hard for like solopreneurs that are
Sure.
just starting out and like their personal brand, is everything.
That's why I say to people, one of the best things you can do is hire someone else in the business as fast as you can afford it.
Yes.
Barter if you need, whatever you need to do, because all of a sudden you're the team working on the business. And that one little shift just propels businesses so quickly.
Yeah. And I know when we had our chat earlier, we talked a little bit about social media and I was like, I don't know what changed, but like, I don't like that used to be everything to me, right? Like show up on social and talk to my people and help my people. And now I'm like, my vibrational frequency goes down just even like thinking about social media sometimes. But that's because I have team now that
Yeah.
helps me. And there are other people that is their superpower. And the
Yes.
sooner we can surround ourselves with people who have different superpowers than us, the quicker we get to elevate the business.
100%. And I always say, like, find the person who that's a 10 for.
Yeah.
Right. If you hate social media, it's like a 0 for you on a scale of 1 to 10, right? But for someone else, it's a 10.
Yeah.
For someone, they are vibing, they love it, they get super excited, that's who should be running your social media.
Yeah.
Because that's their gift and talent and expertise, right? And they should have the right and ability and opportunities to get that out into the world and to share that. And I think trying to pretend like we can do it all I got it at first. Listen, I'm super scrappy. Like, oh my dear heavens, the hours I've spent on YouTube to learn how to edit video, which is a skill I still use from time. I'm like, I'll just do it real fast, right? Like, I'm like beyond scrappy. Like, my head of operations is always like, would you knock it off and let us I'm like, sorry, I'm just really fast at it or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, once you get past needing to be that scrappy, still great because you get the skills, do it. The second you can, do it, because it will shift how you view the business. And just the little tiny piece alone of knowing someone else is watching, like, can we be honest about that, right? Like, someone else is watching. Someone else knows you didn't post for 3 weeks. Someone else knows every time you open it up, you want to throw your phone out the window. It just gives you a different perspective on what's happening. And it's super powerful for helping us in these moments of sales, for helping us in these moments of like, oh, I just made it about me. But meanwhile, I have other people on the team I need to pay. This isn't even about me. They have kids. They have families. They have stuff going on. Get it together, woman, and get out there and help more people. And all of a sudden, like, do we not do more things for other people than we do for ourselves? Like, high functioning codependence, full circle, right? But we do, right? We go out, we'll do whatever for other people. And so having a team really provides that for us.
Yeah. And I noticed I showed up differently. I'm like, oh my God, the accountability alone for me was worth the investment of like, I can't just push it off till tomorrow. Like, then I'm putting her in a pinch, right? Like, I got to do it today so that she has more time and I'm not rushing her. Like, there's my people pleasing, just like coming out all over the place. But it made me show up differently and like take myself more seriously. And so many good things happened, just in dabbling and experimenting and trying to outsource different things.
Yeah. It's a game changer. It really is. And like I said, I get it. Not everybody can afford it out the gate, but as soon as you can, please do that for yourself. It's such a gift. Such a gift.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure if like someone were to look at my numbers, they'd be like, oh, you're spending a little too much on your team there. Like, well, I will sell my soul before I do it.
That's right. Well, I guess I better go work harder. Like, cause it's the thing of like, okay, well, I'll fix that. Yeah. I always love when the profit margins come back. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go sell some stuff. I'll be back in a minute. Right. It's like, we've got to help more people. More people need help. We need more women running countries. We need more women running things. Like, let's go. Who needs a skill? Let's teach it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about money mindset before we have to end. Tell me, what are some of your favorite things to teach about money mindset, or how do you view money mindset or scarcity? Just give us like your perspective.
Oh my goodness. How are you really just have a few more minutes? This could be another 4.5 hours.
I know. Or should I just like have a problem? Like, I love talking about money mindset, and everybody's different. Everyone's different the way they view it. And maybe like from the place of you're helping someone that's really passionate about what they do, but they're like, well, I can't get this email platform because it's too expensive. So I gotta get, like everything's too expensive. What would you tell that person?
Well, such a balance, right? So everything is too expensive. It only comes from scarcity. And you're going to go, duh, thanks. I knew that. But it comes from a learned scarcity. And so I am a big fan of loving up on money. Like, I love money. I don't love it more than my family, and I don't love it more than my health, and I don't love it more than, you, right? Like, people are more important for sure. But here's the thing about money. If we really love it and we believe it's totally available all the time, which it is, I'll get to that in a second. Nothing's ever too expensive. And don't spend it where you don't want to spend it. It's yours. Do whatever the heck you want with it. And the second I say that, people go, oh, I don't even want that platform. And that's actually what's happening. But we've learned to use money as an excuse to not back up our own decisions. And that is such a sacrifice of power. So that's goofy, right? And if you don't want the more expensive email system, don't freaking get it. You'll be pissed off every time you have to pay the bill. You won't send great emails. Your business will suffer. Don't do that to yourself. Now, if it's the one you really, really want, and you're going to use it to the nth degree, and it's going to be amazing, of course you can afford it. And what you're saying is, if you can't afford it, you don't believe in yourself to generate the revenue to get it. Now, that's a different conversation. And it's very common for women because we've been taught not to believe in ourselves. Again, you're going to kill me because I'm going to talk about high functioning codependence again. But that high functioning codependence is directly related to scarcity, and it's directly related to our lack of ability to believe in ourselves to make the money back. And that is because from a very young age, we are taught that we don't matter as long as everyone else is okay. And that comes in forms of like, oh, don't cry. Where's my pretty little girl? Basically, what that person's saying, and God bless all of us who've accidentally said that to little girls, right? Is your emotions are bothering me. Can you please stop having them and just look nice for me? And that is very dangerous. And we see where that can go really nasty real quick, right? Like really malicious, horrible, to the accidental, like, can you please not be emotional? Please. Thanks. Right. And all of that has taught us that what we need doesn't matter as long as everyone else is okay. What we want doesn't matter as long as everyone else is okay. And if we ask for what we want or we go after what we want, there's something wrong with us. That is all high functioning codependence. And by the way, all of the invisible, unpaid work that women do on the daily that makes the entire freaking planet run makes high functioning codependence very convenient for everyone else, right? Because we're doing all the things like finding Anthony's labels for his jackets, right? Like we're doing all the things that makes everything work for everyone else, right? And that bleeds right into your belief of whether or not you can generate the money to pay for that higher end system. Because you are going to say to yourself, I'm just going to put everybody else's needs first anyway, so I'm not going to get this done. I'm never going to get the time to use it the way it's meant. Why are you not going to get the time to use it the way it's meant to be used? Who's driving that? And understand it's not your fault. Please don't ever hear that. Because I think like book leaned in made me so angry because it's like, oh, you're not leaning in. And by the way, you're an idiot for not leaning in. It's like, dude, we're not leaning in because everybody told us not to. So can we talk about that part? Right? Like, and I'm not saying we're all a bunch of victims, but I'm saying don't turn yourself into a victim either of like, if you're worried you're not going to make that money back, let's talk about that. Because why? Why wouldn't you make that money back? What do you think you don't know? Or what do you think you can't accomplish to earn that back in 20 minutes if you want to? Because you can. Like, I really believe like you really can. And I think if we can start to, again, support each other in that, I think it's really important because, you know, when we see someone who's successful, we see someone who buys a more expensive email system and they nail it in the first month. We're like, oh my God, she's so much better than me. What I want to say to you is anytime someone is further down the path than you are, there's only two reasons. They either know something you don't know, right? There's a skill development or some sort of understanding of tech. Sure, you can learn that, right? Or they're doing something you're not doing. Also, totally something you can start to do. So these two things, they know something you don't know, or they're doing something you're not doing, that is totally workable. And if we can break that down to not be so scary, like some people are just born with genius, that's total BS. They learned something and then they experimented and saw what worked and what didn't. And then they kept going. That's it. It's like mystery solved. Like, it's really like, let me debunk all this crap for you. Okay. That's literally all that's happening. So in that moment of, I can't afford it, you want to look at whether or not that's true. Because I also deal in the world of reality, right? If the money that you have at this moment is more important to you than the platform, keep the money. Absolutely. Please do that. That's crazy. And then on the other side, if it's you don't really want it, don't get it. Go find something else that makes you happier. And if you really want it and it's got that little edge for you, but you feel grounded, do it. Right? Like that's where it's like, oh, that's that challenge piece that all of us coaches talk about, right? Like, oh, you're in that sweet spot of just outside the comfort zone, but it's workable. You're not going to put yourself in the poorhouse. You're not going to file for bankruptcy. Like you're in a little bit of a scary space. Go do it. Let's grow this challenge and see what happens. And I think in that space is where a lot of really cool magic happens. And we all have to learn where that is for ourselves. I'll never forget, like the first time I paid $15,000 for a marketing program, heaven help us all, right? I was like, oh my God, what have I done? And I was making like $1,000 a month, right? So this was like, I'm an idiot. Like, I was like, what is wrong with me, right?
We've all been there.
Oh my God, what am I doing? Like I had that feeling, right? But I knew, I said, listen, I want you to put me on a payment plan. I'm going to make 2 payments up $7,500.
Yeah.
And they were like, we don't do that. I'm like, but you're going to do it for me. And they were like, God damn it. Yes, we are. I was like, good. I was like, I'm going to be your best student.
Yeah.
And I knew, I don't know how I knew, but I knew, like, I was scared. I don't want to act like I just had faith in myself. Like, no, I was scared. I was like, oh, dear woman, what are you doing? But there was this knowing of like, I'm going to pay this back and I'm going to pay cash for it. I'm not going to pay an ounce of interest on this. Right. And the first bill came in and I paid it. I was like, oh shit, I did it. Can I do it again? Right. But there's that knowing. And I think it's Jamie Kearns Lima. I don't know if you know who she is. She's the founder of It Cosmetics. Great book called Believe It. But she talks about the knowing. And I mean, she was down to $1,400 and she'd been at it for 10 years. And she was like, I'm going to go bankrupt. And she kept at it. And she sold her business for like over $1 billion with a B, right? Like everyone's like, oh my God, she's such a genius. She's like, no. Here's the truth of what happened. That's why I like that book, because she tells the truth. But she's like, there was a knowing.
Yes.
And it's like, you can't argue with that knowing. So if you're looking at the freaking email system and you're like, you got to check in with your own knowing. And the cool part is no one can tell you that but you.
Yeah.
No one. But that's true abundance, because you always have access to that. You always have access to that intuition. So if you can know in any moment, you'll never make a wrong decision. It's just not possible. But the problem is, through high functioning codependence, we've been told not to listen to that. So I think our job as humans today is to peel away all the noise. That's scarcity thinking, all that stuff. We just peel all that away and go, what's true for me? What do I know? And that will never steer you wrong. And that's where you'll just explode in financial abundance, in health abundance, in love abundance. That's where that comes from, is when we turn that intuition up a notch and listen to that, it will never steer you wrong.
That's so true too. Cause when I think about like the most successful like weeks or time containers of my business, I can always say it's because I made quick, intuitive decisions and I didn't allow myself to sit in that place of overthinking, because overthinking is just that codependence, like you said, coming out. And when I saw this person ask the question about the email thing, it's like, gosh, like she's really torturing herself over a $19 a month investment.
Right.
Like, you know, the same way that I torture myself over an investment that's just bigger, but it's the same freaking problem. Yeah.
That's exactly right.
It's the same thing. Yeah. So it almost doesn't matter the price tag. It's like, we have to learn how to make those decisions from that place of abundance and power. And the success happens every time, but it's like, we're in it, we're out of it. We're in it, we're out of it. Right. So it's like that. It's practice. It's like getting good at anything else. It's practice.
It is. And by the way, I mean, speaking of that, that's why I made the Abundance Academy a year-long program. Yeah. And we have several programs. We have several people who've already signed up for the second year, right? They're like, I'm staying in.
Yeah.
Because it takes practice, right? This is not a magical, just read this one book and everything will be fine. Like that's not reality, right? This is about practice. This is about diligence. This is about consistency. And then, like you said, I love that you just shared that. It's about watching it work.
Yeah.
Because then you're like, oh my God, it works. And then
having the self-awareness to be like, this is what I did different. Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Because when you were like, they're either know something different or they're doing something different. I'm like, the doing is in that. Yes. Whatever they're doing different, there's something there in that quick, intuitive decision-making, that inner knowing, like you said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So good. Oh my gosh. I love it. Okay. I'm like, how are we out of time already? I don't even know how that was possible.
Oh my goodness.
But I'm so glad we ended on that note. That was so good. So tell us, I know you said you're launching, so tell us what's coming up for you, or like, what's the biggest thing that we can support right now?
Well, what we're really excited about. So the Abundance Academy is open enrollment, because that's abundance. Right? So someone's like needs it now. It's not closed, people. So it's open enrollment. However, right now we are running a really cool opening program, because we have an annual retreat coming up. So everybody who's part of the Abundance Academy is going to be with us for a day-long virtual retreat, where we're going to be going through what happened this year, what was successful, what wasn't, what do you want to do, like doing this full-on expansion day together. And we're so excited and talking about it. And we're also running workshops all of the end of October, not sure when this is aired, but like we're running a whole bunch of workshops into that, that I'm super excited about. I think it's just a really special time to be having this conversation. And I meant what I said, like we need more money in the hands of more women, because we've got to change what's happening. And for better or for worse, right now in this world, the way it's designed, that's going to take us making more money.
Yeah. Well, and Sarah, I know you're the real deal, because I was introduced to you by one of your students, and she's like, oh my God, my coach, you got to meet my coach. I'm like, all right, I'll meet the coach. I'm so glad that she introduced us, because I just think you're such a little piece of magic.
Oh, you're so kind. It's just been such a joy to talk to you. It's so fun.
Now, have you written a book yet? Is that on your radar if you haven't?
Oh boy, did you just hit me right between the eyes there, Liz, just as we're wrapping up. Yes, everybody's asking me for one. And it's percolating. I can't even tell you when it's going to be out, but my gut would be in the next 18 months or so, we'll start getting that formulated and created. Just because, again, it's a way, I mean, I have a YouTube channel people can access. Like, I am a big believer in getting as much content out there as I can for people who can't afford to work with me, right? And that's real. And I want you to keep your money until you can come play with me, right? Like, that's a big deal. So, one way to help me do that is not just the podcast and the YouTube channel, but is also a book to really break down some of the exercises we do inside the Abundance Academy and have people have access to knowledge that happens inside the Sales Mastermind so they can apply it. And obviously working with a coach, I believe, helps us apply it faster and with less pain. So that's helpful. But I also know people are super scrappy, and if they get this information, they'll use it. So it's percolating, Liz. Yes. Thank you for asking.
I love it. I love it. I know it's percolating for me too. And I'm like, I don't know what it is or what it's going to be, but it's like, I can't
such a big project.
So there's something there. Like, I'm like, okay, stop ignoring it. Allow it to come in when we'll figure it out when the time is right.
Yeah. Yep. There it is. There it is.
That. Okay. Well, where can everybody find you? We're going to put all the good stuff in the show notes, but
you're so great. So, yes, you can come on over to sarahwalton.com and hang out. I do have a freedom calculator there. If you don't know how much money you need to make in your business to get free, you can grab it. It's totally free. And then I have a YouTube channel, and I have my own podcast as well. It's called Game On Girlfriend Podcast, because the game is on. This is not your practice life.
I love it. So good, Sarah. Well, thank you so, so much. And I'm like, we might need a part 2 because I didn't even get to go into goal setting.
Oh, dude, let's go. Let's go. I'm all yours.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Liz. It's been great.
All right. Isn't there something about Sarah's energy that is just completely infectious and just fun, and you just want to lean in? So all the show notes today, you guys, are going to be at elizabethhenson.co/E131. This is episode 131. You can go to elizabethhenson.co/E131 or just click over to the podcast list on my website. And make sure that you guys go connect with Sarah. Go say hi to her on all the places. Let her know you found her on the Messy Success podcast. If this episode was helpful, make sure you leave us a review over on iTunes or share it with a friend. That truly means the world to us. And I just want to say thank you so, so much for pushing play today and for listening to Sarah and I's goofy and inspiring conversation. And I cannot wait to continue collaborating with Sarah. So head on over to the show notes. Make sure you check Sarah out and say hi. And thank you guys so much for being here. And don't forget, I am offering free marketing power calls. Those are 30-minute one-to-one calls where we dig into your marketing and see how I can help you. All right, guys, see you later.